So far, we have finished entering the transactions onto the journal and are now being transferred into the general ledger. You may recall the T accounts we used in the previous accounting cycle. Although the format of entering the information into the ledger has changed, the use of the ledger has not. We must still create a trial balance sheet in order to check the credit and debit balances. Follow along to learn how to use this new and approved ledger, now known as the general ledger. So this is a template for the general ledger. It will be linked in the description box below. And we are basically doing the same thing, okay? So instead of each box of a T account having its own name, now each of these boxes has its own name. So for example, one account could be cash, okay? Another could be capital. Another could be supplies. There's multiple options. But so we basically take the accounts from this ledger, and this is the example we've used in our previous video, and we have to enter it into our general ledger. So we know that the date is August 2nd, and the year has already been entered, but if you don't know how to do that, you basically have a big space between the date, the word date, and the actual year, okay? And then you go to Format, Text Wrapping, and you wrap the text so that it comes one under the other. Okay, so when entering the date, you have to put the month first, then the date. So we put August and 2nd, okay? Same for this one, August 2nd. Because right now we are entering the same source document or the same transaction into the ledger. So the cash is debited $4,250, so we can enter that over here. Okay, so the balance right now is $4,250. Okay? And for the explanation, you can just copy and paste the explanation from the ledger. Okay? And as for the account number in each of the boxes, sorry, I forgot to mention that earlier, but there are certain account numbers for each account. So for example, the cash could be 101 and the capital could be 102. Okay? So okay, let's get back to entering the data. You do the same thing you did for cash into capital. Okay? You already have that copied, but instead, why don't we copy this? Because it's already formatted correctly. The credit balance will now be $4,250, and your final balance will be $4,250. Okay? The balance mainly comes in handy when you are calculating the total of this entire column. So as you go along, you add the balances from the previous into this. So for example, let's say we have $500 here, okay? So the new balance will be $4,750. But we don't, so we can't enter that. That was just an example. Click the link in the description box below or click anywhere on the screen to learn how to make the 6-column worksheet, which essentially replaces the trial balance sheet. This is the next step in the accounting cycle.